this is Kenzie McDaniel, your host for today's CommCats episode of Say It With Your Chest, where we look to answer your questions around the Augusta area. Today on the show, I am joined by co-host Patrick Motes and our special guest, Dr. Carrie Reif-Stice. Dr. Carrie is a professor for the Department of Communications here at Augusta University. She teaches a wide variety of classes from public speaking to interpersonal and health to crisis communication. Dr. Carrie, welcome in today.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Of course. Today we will be discussing what Communicon at Augusta University is and the benefits surrounding this huge event. So first things first, can you explain to us and talk a little bit about what exactly Communicon is?
Sure. Communicon was started in 2018 by a group of students communication majors who wanted to actually celebrate the department. And they were the first to launch it. But COVID hit. And, it kind of fell by the wayside. And I was hired in August of 2021 and asked that my campaigns class be in charge of running Communicon. And told me it's whatever we envision it to be. So for the last couple of years, it's been segmented into two different periods: day Communicon, night Communicon. Day Communicon was really geared toward spreading word about what the comm major is, what a comm minor looks like, what our certificate offerings are, and just a chance for Augusta University students at large to come to campus and celebrate the end of the semester. So we've had things like a bouncy house and a band and food. And then this night comm was geared more toward communication majors and actually celebrating their achievements throughout the year.
That's amazing. I love that. Okay, so with that being said, are there any opportunities that you can get out of Communicon if you do attend?
So what's funny is how this class is structured and how Communicon happens is my class has to come up with ideas and themes for the day.
Right.
And they have to build activities around Communicon and publicize it. And we actually just announced the winner. They pitched their idea last week to a panel. We announced it today. And one of the things that's really interesting is this year's group has decided that they're going to do a raffle. And they've had a bunch of prizes donated to kind of increase student attendance. So if you come, you meet with the professors, you go to our informational tables, you'll be put in for a grand prize drawing. And then we also will have raffles for communication majors for the second day of Communicon, which will be celebrating communication majors.
Yeah, nice.
So for that, how many different groups did you have when it came to pitching ideas?
This year we had three groups with 4 people, and they have to do a mini communication audit of how the message and word is spread about Communicon. They have to create example flyers around their theme. They have to make a budget. They have to then pitch it to a panel of faculty members and community members. And from there, it's just like a real PR pitch. The community members and everybody discussed which theme they liked the best, and we announced it today in class. So this year we will be having a golf theme Communicon.
Okay. And so for the other groups, everybody, I'm assuming, just collaborates then on that one, or
yes,
how does that work?
We all come together. I tell them we're married until Communicon do us part, and that regardless of what group is picked, we all are implementing this project, and we are all together on this. And that we can get a divorce when Communicon is over.
Right.
That's hilarious.
Right, exactly. So what sort of clubs or organizations will be at Communicon this year, and how do you get in touch with them if there are any?
So we hope to have the bell ringer. We hope to have a podcasting booth or a table. The media club, production club will have a table. The Phoenix Magazine will have a table. And we're hoping to have a table for SGA. And those tables will all have an advisor there to kind of give information and provide, contact to reach out after Communicon is over.
What does SGA stand for?
Student Government Association.
Okay, that's right. I couldn't remember about that one.
I was really racking my brain.
I'm not familiar with that one.
What do they do?
Student-led events. So anything like
Engage.
Yeah.
That makes sense for sure. Okay. Let's see. And then what would you tell people who are on the fence about coming to Communicon, even those who aren't communication majors? What would you tell them? Like, how could they benefit from attending?
So, you don't have to be a communication major to come. It's open to everybody. And we want you to come just to socialize. It's at the end of the semester. It's at the end of April. It's a stressful time. We're coming up to final exams. And this is just a way for you to engage with the other people in the AU community. So we often feel disconnected, right? Biology majors are downtown. Majors are on Somerville. This is a chance for everybody to come to the Maxwell Theater, have some free food, play some games, unwind.
Yeah.
And build community. And that's really important. I tell students this, in communication, building community is critical, right? Mm-hmm. Networking opportunities are critical. Just because they're in biology doesn't mean they may not come up with a job opportunity for you down the road. So you need to have a wide net of people to rely on. And this is a way to help build that community, that sense of identity. And not just identity in terms of being a communication major, but identity as being an Augusta University student.
Yeah, for sure.
And that we are all in this together.
Yeah,
right?
We sure are, for sure. To expand on that a little bit, since you did touch on the question that I'm about to ask, can you talk about the relationships you can build at this event? So you kind of already touched on that with like us as a community and stuff like that, but is there anything more that you would like to add?
Sure. I often think that students have a misperception of what professors are, right? That we are these scary entities that are out to get you and to give you bad grades. And I think Communicon is a way, because professors go, we have tables, our professors are represented. They sit at the tables and answer questions about the major and our activities. And it's a chance for you to see them outside the classroom environment and engaging with students and to see that they're human, right?
Right.
And that, we don't like giving you grades. We would much rather interact with you socially, but it gives you an image of what we are outside of the classroom.
Exactly. Rather than just bumping into them at the grocery store.
Yeah.
I mean, like, whoa.
No, when you bump into us at the grocery store and then you look to see what's in my cart, which has happened.
Super awkward.
I've always wondered what that would be like.
Oh, it's super awkward.
It is, for sure.
I kind of want to add a little bit to that relationship thing at Communicon, because I went for the first time last year, and like one of my roommates was like, you need to go, because he is a fellow communication major, and I was like, okay, all right. I mean, because bouncy houses, music, I was like, I don't know, maybe I should just go to class or go home and eat lunch or something. But I went, and I actually ended up meeting Professor Amber Ruth there, who is in charge of the internships for the communication department. And through her, she has helped me land my internship that I have coming up this summer. And I've met some other professors that I now take their classes for. And I thought, none of this probably would have ever even sparked, because I had wanted to do an internship for the career path that I want to go into, but I never really knew how to figure that out.
Yeah.
And then lo and behold, I just took a chance on going to this event that my friend convinced me to go to. And through just talking to people and just, shaking their hand, introducing yourself and just kind of explaining yourself, where you come from, what you want to do. And, maybe you're not really sure how to get there and something like that. I mean, I did all those things and within the next semester, I have the internship secured, and I am forever grateful for that Communicon event. So I think that for people who are listening, anybody who's on the fence about it, or even just see flyers around the school and all of that, go, because it doesn't hurt. It never hurts. And the people that I've met there, like the professors and stuff, have actually been super great. They've all been super helpful to me outside of the classroom or in the classroom, and it's probably one of the best, I guess, PR building events that you could have.
Oh, I appreciate that.
That's very true, actually. It's very, very true. Aside from this podcast and like the conversations that we're having now, if somebody's listening, where can they learn more about the event? Like, what other places can they go to get some more information?
So we will be running a social media campaign, AUCOM Department Instagram, AUCOM Department Facebook.
Okay.
We also are going to have flyers around campus. If you are a major, we will be sending out emails to you as a major, and we will be asking Pamplin to also send out an email to Pamplin students.
Awesome.
So there are going to be multiple channels that we are going to try to connect with students. But we have found when the students have done research, because as part of this project, they have to do research to see how messages actually reach stakeholders. Like, how did students learn about Communicon last year?
Right.
And a lot of it is professors and word of mouth. So it's not just about us doing social media, but it's really about spreading the word and getting students to talk about it and hype it up and be excited. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
So that would be a channel I would really say, listen to your professors when they're talking about Communicon. Don't be afraid to come.
For sure. All it takes is one person, really.
Could you kind of explain, because I was thinking about it while you were explaining about the whole project building thing, like your class and like how they came up with their ideas and kind of the process they had to go to for that?
Sure. So how it walks in, I walk in the first day of class and I say, Communicon is yours. This is yours. I am the CEO, and you are actually developing the pitch. So, I give them this assignment parameters. They put themselves into groups because I want to be fair and equitable and let them work with who they want to work with. Right. And I say, let your creativity go. This is yours. This is your baby. You come up with the design, you come up with the theme, you come up with the logo, you come with shirt design, all of it is yours.
Yep. Let them shine.
Yeah. And I just kind of stand, I think, on the sidelines and root them on and let them know that I'm here to help them if they have any questions. I give them like parameters. I'm like, well, your budget's this. You have to get all you need to be seeking out donations. You need to be contacting community partners. And they really took that challenge this year and ran with it. We've gotten a lot of community support. Nice. And donations coming in. So, it's really in what the students want to make of it. And I tell them too, I said, if this fails, this isn't on me.
Right.
Wow, that's a lot of pressure.
This is on you.
I mean, hey.
This is on you, and this is your project. And
that's their baby.
This is your baby. This is your accolades. This is a point of reference for you to discuss in an interview.
Exactly, yeah.
And a point for me to discuss if you use me as a reference. But, I'm just here to help you and guide you through this process. It's yours.
Exactly.
And
wow, that's a lot of pressure on day one of class.
Yeah, and it's been really interesting to see. The first year I taught this, because this is my third year. I only had 5 people in the class the first year, and we barely got it off the ground. We did. It was a lot of work. Last year was a little bit better.
It was huge last year.
Yes, it was
huge. It looked
huge.
big. It looked really big.
We had a huge turnout. But they took the idea from the year before. They made it better. I'm finding that this year, they took previous ideas, and they've just made it even bigger. So it's interesting to see how students are learning from this process and learning from previous groups and still having their vision and what they want their vision to look like. But, I think I like to approach my classes as being you owning what you learn.
Right.
And they own this. This is theirs.
Yeah, exactly. That's a huge part of college is really taking responsibility and like ownership of the work that you do.
Yeah.
And I think you setting that expectation the first day was probably the best way to do it. Because then they know right off the bat, this is what needs to get done. And Communicon has been pretty good the last few times.
I'm excited to see what the golf theme is, because I know that golf is huge in this town. So whoever thought of that was actually a really genius idea. So I can
in April too, the Masters.
Yeah, it's coming. When is the dates again of Communicon?
Oh, that's a good question that I cannot answer off the top of my head.
I think it might be.
It's last week in April.
That's right.
It's like the 25th and 26th. I'll have to.
Yes,
we're looking right now.
research in the podcast, of course, of when Communicon is. Because I'm telling you what, last year when I was walking through Somerville, I saw this bouncy house and I was like, man, I really want to go on that. But I said, I've got conference in a few weeks. If I go on that and bust my knee, my coach is going to kill me.
It's April the 28th. Is the big Communicon event.
Oh, that's perfect. That's right after our conference meeting. I will be on the bouncy house this year on the putting green. They're gonna have can you give us a sneak peek of what is gonna be, or do you want to save that?
So, again, today was the day that they got into a large group. So I'm not quite sure how it's going to shape out. Mm-hmm. I do know we're going to keep the raffle because the raffle prizes have already been donated.
Well,
like
great.
Crumble Cookie donated.
Oh, wow.
Seven Brews wants to attend. Yes.
Yeah.
She wears my
That's where I just came from this morning.
They want to have a table. I'm trying to think of what else.
Topgolf?
They haven't reached out to Topgolf. I'll be interested to see. I know they're talking about having snow cones and another bounce house. So they, again, what I tell you today, because they're just now coming as a group, it may change, and budgetary is always a limiting factor. I tell them it's not a limiting factor. I tell them that to use it to their advantage, right? Just because you have a budget doesn't mean it limits you. You have to be creative in ways to meet that, not exceed that budget.
Exactly.
So I'll be interested to see what they do as a group. As a large group. There's 11 or 12 of them in the class. So
nice. Well, if you need any help, need a connection with Seven Brew, I got you. Love that place.
It'll be. I'm excited for it. I genuinely am. The more I've gotten involved with the comm department and just meeting people, I'll be interested to, even for the next few years, to see how these, like you were saying, growing and building off of it. It'll be interesting to see how each one just tries to level up each year.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, when they gave this to me my first year, I was just like, oh, please, I don't know.
In your first year?
In my first year, at
wow.
my first year. And I had a tiny baby at that point, and it was, we were in the weeds at home, and I was in the weeds at work, and I was like, I don't know if I am the right person to be doing this. And it's been really great to see that this was where this has gone, right? And the students still come back. The students from the previous years come back and say things like, I learned so much from this project. This project really changed who I am and what I want in my life. And we really appreciate all the time and effort that you took. Because it is, even though I'm on the sidelines, I'm still very involved in it. I tell them I will be in the trenches the day of.
Right.
That I'm here. I'm not going to let them, if they put enough work and effort into it, I'm not going to let them, it's not going to fail, right? But I don't know where I was going with this. Yeah, anyway, it's just, I want to make sure it's successful, but of course, students have been really, just the response from the students that were previous years has been really helpful build how I approach this class too.
Right, exactly. Okay, I've got one last question for you, and then we can do a little additional things if you want to do any last words. But how has Communicon helped grow the department, and how has it put all of the resources this field of study has to offer out there?
It's interesting. That's something that I feel we don't do enough of in the department, is follow up to see if we got any new majors from Communicon.
Right.
That would be something that I would be interested to add onto a survey at the end of the year, or the end of your coursework. But I think it really just gives an opportunity to shine and highlight the things that we do, because often students are busy. They don't understand that they need to make time and effort into other things besides just going to school and doing work, or going to school and doing work.
Yeah.
You really should be involved and start building that resume. And I think by having us out there and seeing what opportunities are available gives students a better perspective of not just coming to class and leaving.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that I struggled with that first going into college when I was at Georgia Southern. I eventually ended up withdrawing my first semester there, just because I was so I didn't choose to put myself out there a little bit more. And putting myself out there, or putting anybody else out there, it gives you a sense of purpose in your education that kind of makes it feel worth it and fulfilling. So if somebody can find that from Communicon, I think that would be amazing.
Yeah.
For sure.
I always tell students this, my students, it's great that you're getting A's in class, but so is the 50 other people applying for the same job that you are.
Yeah.
You really have to do stuff that separates you out and makes you look involved. Because, what's separating you from the pack?
Right.
And Communicon's a chance for you to not only separate yourself out, but also get materials for your portfolio, professional materials that you can actually walk into an interview and say, here, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, and here are all my examples.
Yeah.
Just like this podcast today, right? Like you can walk into an employer's office and say, I have podcast training and here's some examples.
Yep. You can give them that aubellringer.com.
Yes, aubellringer.com. Yes.
Alrighty, so we're gonna wrap it up here, but before we officially end, do you have any additional notes you would like to say about Communicon? Anything extra?
Just come out, support us, come and have a good time.
Exactly. Period. Alrighty. Thank you guys for tuning in to CommCats today on our episode of Say It With Your Chest. Special thanks to our guest, Dr. Carrie Reif-Stice, for joining us today. A big thanks to our producer, Jack Costco, and editor/co-host, Patrick Motes. Thank you to Jasmine Garcia, who is our TVC Lab coordinator. We are coming to you from the TVC Lab here at Augusta University. Last disclaimer, the opinions stated here are those of the individuals, not Augusta University. You can find us at aubellringer.com, YouTube, and on social media. Please send your comments to bellringerproduction@gmail.com. Have a great day and listen again soon. We will be back soon with another edition of Say It With Your Chest. Until then, this is Kenzie McDaniel saying so long. We're out.
Awesome. Way to go.
Hey, thank you.